subscribe and click the bell icon to turn on notifications.
Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial video on Microsoft OneDrive. Now, if you don't already know, OneDrive is Microsoft's internet-based storage platform. It's offered for free by Microsoft to anyone with a Microsoft account, and it works in pretty much the same way as other cloud storage applications such as iCloud and Google Docs. Now, if you're not familiar with OneDrive, the best way to look at it is that it is essentially a virtual hard drive. So much like you might choose to store your files and documents on your PC, when you put them in the cloud, you're storing them on Microsoft servers instead, which has many benefits. The first benefit is that you can access your files from anywhere. So for example, if you go on a trip without your laptop and need to check a document or maybe edit a spreadsheet, you can easily access your files from your phone or via a web browser. Second, it provides a backup for your files. If you have everything stored on your laptop or PC and your PC dies or maybe you lose your laptop, those files are gone unless you've remembered to back up to an external drive. When your files are stored in the cloud, they can easily be retrieved. And the third benefit is that OneDrive makes it really simple to share and collaborate on files with others. In the past, if you wanted to share a document, you would normally need to email a copy of it to your colleagues and then wait for them to send it back with their changes. With OneDrive, you can share a link to the file and everyone can work on the file at the same time and see updates in real time. And it's definitely worth noting that OneDrive can be accessed on the web and also on your PC. Once you download OneDrive, a folder will be created in File Explorer, allowing you to view and manage your files much like a local folder. Any changes made to files opened from your PC or from the web will synchronize, so everything is always up to date and in step in both locations. So now that we have a better understanding of exactly what OneDrive is, let's take a look at how we can get OneDrive onto our PCs. Now, OneDrive comes pre-installed with Windows 10. If you're using an older version of Windows, you can upgrade to Windows 10 for free and then get OneDrive. However, if you don't want to upgrade to Windows 10, you can download OneDrive onto your computer by going to www.onedrive.com. And it's also worth noting that OneDrive isn't simply for PC users, it can also be installed on a Mac. Now, when you're thinking about using OneDrive as your personal cloud storage, it's worth considering all the different options that you have and definitely checking out the different plans. And there are several plans to choose from, divided down into home plans and also business plans. Now, for the time being, we're just going to stick to the home plans. Now, the first thing you might notice is that there is a free account available. However, this free account only offers 5 gig of storage. Now, if you're somebody who has a lot of files, you might find that you fill up 5 gig fairly quickly. So it might be worth considering upgrading, paying a small fee each month, and obtaining 100 gig of storage. Now, obviously, I'm in the UK, so all of these prices are in UK currency, so I would recommend that you jump onto the OneDrive website for your locale so you can see accurate prices for your region. Aside from those two options, there is also a Microsoft 365 personal account, which works out to about £6 per month. And then if you have lots of family members all using OneDrive, you could choose the Microsoft 365 Family Plan, which works out at about $7.99 a month. And the good thing with these last two subscription packages is that if you buy either of these, you do get access to the online Office apps as well. Now, a final thing that's worth noting is that OneDrive is also available as an app for your mobile phone, so you can edit and work on documents on the go. So just go to the App Store or the Play Store on your device, search for OneDrive and download. So let's take a look at how we get started working with OneDrive. Once you've downloaded OneDrive onto your PC, you'll see a cloud icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the status bar. And as I hover over, it's telling me that currently my files are all up to date. If I click on the cloud icon, it's going to pop up a menu which shows me the last files that have been synchronized, as well as some action buttons running across the bottom. So let's click on Open Folder and see what we get. So this will open File Explorer where you can see OneDrive and the folders and files stored in the cloud. And this is going to look very much like regular files and folders on your PC with one small difference. And that is the addition of a status column next to each file and folder. And the status column, as you would imagine, tells you the status of the file or folder. So anything you see with a green circle and a tick, that means that the file is synchronized and up to date on both your PC and in the cloud. If a file has a cloud icon next to it, it means that this file is only stored in the cloud and not on your PC. Now you can still open files that are only stored in the cloud by double-clicking, but just note what happens. The file actually downloads from the cloud and then it opens on my PC. And you can see that now the icon has changed to a syncing icon because I have this file open, I'm going to be making changes, and now it's trying to synchronize between my PC and the cloud. So the main point there is that even with files that are just stored in the cloud, you can open them and work on them in the same way. And finally, if you see a file that has a person icon, that means that the file has been shared. And also remember that with any of these files, if you right-click your mouse, you're going to see a contextual menu. Now, most of these menu options are fairly standard when you click on any file in File Explorer. However, with cloud files, you will find this second section contains some additional options. So let's go through each of these and explore what they're all about. So the first one here is Share. So in OneDrive, you can share a link or a copy of a file that's stored in OneDrive with others. And this makes it easy for many people to collaborate on a file at the same time, and also negates the need to send files backwards and forwards as email attachments. So the default here is to send a link to this document. It says anyone with the link can edit, and if I click this area, I can then choose if I want them to be able to edit this file, or if I just want them to be able to view the file, I can remove the tick from this box. Now, if you have a paid subscription to OneDrive, you will see an additional option in here that you don't see with the free versions. And that is the ability to set an expiration date on a link. So what I could do in here is I could set a date of, let's say, next Thursday, whereby this link will expire on this date. So it means that anybody who has access to this file will essentially be thrown out of the file on this particular day and their access removed. And then finally at the bottom, you can choose if you want to add an extra layer of security and set a password on the file. Once you've customized those link settings, it's simply a case of entering in the name or email addresses of the people that you want to share this link with. You can add a message if you want to, and then click the send button. And what this will do is it's going to send an email to Jen, which contains a link directly to this document. She can click on the link, go into the document, make her changes, and I can see those changes in real time if I also have the document open. Now, an alternative to sending a link is to send a copy. Now, if I click on Copy Link, OneDrive is going to create a shareable link, which I can then copy and paste into maybe an email or maybe a messaging application like Teams or Slack. Let's right-click on our file again to go back into our contextual menu. The next option I have is to view my file online. Now, if I select this option, it's going to open this file in a web browser. And you might find that you'll be asked to provide your Microsoft 365 login credentials. Now, the web applications are essentially scaled down versions of the full desktop applications. You can work on your document as normal, but be aware that some of the more complex or advanced actions might not be available in the web version. So for the most part, I can pretty much do everything I need to in the web version. But if I do need to do something that isn't available in this version, I always have the option to open in the desktop app, where I then have access to the full range of commands. Let's right-click again. And the third option in here is version history. And version history is a great feature of OneDrive. If somebody makes drastic edits to a file or maybe changes something accidentally, you have the ability to roll back to an earlier version. So you can see here that I have two versions of this particular file. If I decide I want to roll back to the older version, if I click on the three ellipses, I then have a restore option. The next option in this menu is always keep on this device. So it's worth remembering that accessing files in the cloud relies on an active internet connection. So if you are anticipating being somewhere with no internet, such as maybe on a plane, and you want to be able to work on a file, you can choose to always keep the file on your device. This means the file will be available locally, and any changes you make whilst offline will synchronize with the cloud once an internet connection has been re-established. So if I choose Always Keep on this device, you'll see it starts to synchronize, it's downloading, and now I have a solid fill green circle. So this indicates to me that this file is now available on my device, and I can open and work on it regardless of if I have an internet connection. Now the final option I want to talk to you about in here is essentially the exact opposite of what we've just done. And that is the free up space option. Now, as we've already seen, OneDrive syncs to your local drives to make it easier for you to work on files through File Explorer. But that means that the files still take up space on your hard drive. And over time, you might find that your hard drive runs out of space, so you might want to consider freeing up some space by keeping files in the cloud only. So if I click on Free Up Space, again you'll see the sync icon, and now it changes to a cloud, which tells me that this is now only stored in the cloud, and it's not taking up extra space on my PC. So now let's explore the web version of OneDrive in a little bit more detail, because it's this web version that allows us to access our files elsewhere. So I'm going to click back on the cloud icon, and we're going to say View Online. So this option opens the OneDrive website, which shows everything that I have stored in the cloud. And you will find that the folders and files you see in here pretty much marry up with the folders and files you see in File Explorer. So we have a menu on the left-hand side where I can access my files, and I can just click on these folders to drill down. I can see my recent files, so files that I've recently worked on. I can see all of the photos that I have stored in OneDrive. I can see a list of any files that have been shared by me. And then I also have a link to my recycle bin, which is where any deleted files get stored. Another thing you'll notice at the top of the screen is that we have a really powerful search bar. So if I was to type in something like Excel, it's going to search through all of the files I have stored in OneDrive and pull back any files or folders it finds that matches my keyword. Another thing that's really useful in OneDrive for the web is that you have the ability to create new folders or new documents directly from here. So if we take a look at this menu bar running across the top, the first drop down that we have is New. So I can create a new folder, or I can create a new Word document, Excel workbook, PowerPoint presentation, OneNote notebook. I can create a form or a plain text document. So if I select Word document, it's going to open up in Word for the web, where I can create a new document from scratch. And it's automatically saved into OneDrive for me under the default name of Document 1. And of course, if I want to change this, I can simply click on where it says Document 1, give this file a name and click away, and this will continue to save as I start to type. And what you'll now see is that if I select Recent on the left-hand side, Deb's document is now at the top of that list. And you can also change the way that you're viewing your files and folders in OneDrive by clicking on the Options menu on the right-hand side. So I'm displaying mine as a compact list, but if I wanted to display them as maybe tiles, I can select that option and get a completely different way of viewing my files and folders. So this is very much personal preference, so just choose the one that suits you. I can also upload documents that I have stored locally directly into OneDrive using the Upload button in that menu bar. I have a choice of files, or I can choose to upload an entire folder. And remember that everything that I upload is going to be synchronized between my PC and the cloud. Now, aside from these main menu options running across the top, you can also perform actions on individual files. So just to keep things consistent, let's carry on using our Dallas utility demo file. You'll see as I hover my mouse over, I get these ellipses in the middle. And if I click, I get to see more actions I can take on this file. So I can open it in Excel Online or even in Excel. I can preview and share it. I can download the file, delete it, move it to another folder or somewhere else. I can rename it and see things like the version history. So plenty of options in there for you to explore as well. Now, something we haven't mentioned yet, which you might have noticed, is that when you download OneDrive, by default, you'll see a folder called the Personal Vault. And the Personal Vault is a special folder to store files in. It offers an added level of security by enforcing two-factor authentication, so it's a really good place to store sensitive or confidential files. Now, if I click on my Personal Vault, it's going to ask me to verify my Microsoft credentials. Once I've verified, I need to essentially approve the sign-in request by downloading the Microsoft Authenticator app. And this is something that's reasonably new with Microsoft. They have an Authenticator app which you can very quickly download onto your phone, and it's basically used to verify your identity. So if the Personal Vault is something that you want to use, I would definitely recommend downloading this app, as it does provide you with instructions on how to progress through and access your Personal Vault. Now, of course, any files or folders that you have stored in OneDrive can also be deleted. So for example, this document 1 at the bottom, I'm going to select it, and I can either click on the ellipses and choose delete from the contextual menu, or alternatively, I can select delete from the menu bar running across the top. Now, when you delete any files or folders, they move into the recycle bin. And you can see there sitting right at the top is the file that I've just deleted. Now, files will be held in the recycle bin for a period of 30 days. So if at any point during that 30 days you decide that you want to retrieve that file, if you just click on the ellipses, you have an option to restore. And that file will restore back to the folder that you deleted it from. Just remember that after that 30-day period, everything that you have in your recycle bin will be permanently deleted from OneDrive. Now, the final thing I want to talk you through is just some of the help and settings, because there's some really important options in here that you need to know about. So let's click on Settings from this menu, and we're going to jump straight to the Settings tab. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these options, but one that I do want to highlight to you is this first option underneath this general group, Start OneDrive automatically when I sign into Windows. So I always like to make sure that I have this ticked to ensure that everything is synced and up to date and I don't forget to start OneDrive. The other important tab in here is the Account tab. So this is where I can come to keep an eye on how much cloud storage I'm using and, if necessary, manage my files. So I'm not using a great deal of my cloud storage at the moment, but if I was, I could click on Manage Storage, and OneDrive is basically going to show me how much space I have left, and it's also going to present me with the largest files that I have stored in OneDrive. And as you can see, I do a lot of different videos, and video files are extremely large. So if I was struggling for space, I might come into here, and if I decide that I don't need these files anymore, I can delete them. Another option in here that's quite important is unlink this PC. So at any point in time, you can unlink your PC from your cloud storage. So if you're only interested in storing files in the cloud and you're not particularly interested in having the folder available in File Explorer, you can choose to unlink this PC and everything will just be stored in the cloud. On that same vein, you don't necessarily have to always have all of your folders synchronizing between the PC and the cloud. If I click on Choose Folders, this is where I can come to select folders that I want to synchronize. And you can see just above it says choose what you want to be available in your OneDrive folder. These files will be available on demand. Unselected folders will be hidden from File Explorer. So if you tend to have space issues on your hard drive, you're probably going to want to keep the majority of your files in the cloud only. So you want to come in here and deselect them, because everything that you have selected is going to synchronize to the hard drive on your PC. So it's definitely worth coming in here and checking out what you want to make available on your PC and what you're happy to keep in the cloud. And the final tab here that I want to point out is the Backup tab. Now, if I click on Manage Backup, this is where I can start ad hoc backups of some of my important files. So things like my desktop, documents, and pictures. So don't forget that option is there as well. So that is it. That is a quick overview of OneDrive, how it works, and how you can work with it. I hope you found that useful. I will see you in the next video.
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. To get 4 free courses in Excel, QuickBooks, Microsoft Project, and Photoshop, click over there. And click over there to see more videos from Simon Says It.